KMBC 9 First News starts now.
Today's the First Alert Weather Impact Day. I'm going to show you the times that you'll need your rain gear with First Alert Future Scan and the best times this week to plan outdoor activities.
I'm Martin Augustine at the Kansas City Crime Lab. Neighbors near the woods where a baby's body was found this weekend say they believe once the evidence is analyzed here, they'll know which direction police will go.
The City of Independence could be closer to overturning a ban on pit bulls. The key decision being made today that could impact the future of the dogs. Well, good morning. We're glad that you're taking time to spend your Monday morning here with us on First News. I'm Donna Pittman.
And I'm Jamie Weiss. Cody has the morning off. Nick Bender, though, is here with your First Alert forecast, and it is a very wet start to your Monday morning.
It is. It's damp. It's wet. It's cool, Jamie. We have a big area of light rain here north of the river and north of Interstate 70. Drizzle and fog across the metro with some hit or miss showers this morning. We'll zoom in on that. Those showers here in Johnson County, Kansas, coming up I-35 from Edgerton, Garner into Olathe. And you can see light rain showers here north of downtown, north of Independence and Blue Springs, up over the river, Liberty, 152 highway, up into the airport where they're reporting rain showers. So that's why it's a First Alert Weather Impact Day. We're expecting scattered off and on showers later this afternoon, some rumbles of thunder. Rainfall totals anywhere from 1/10 of an inch, not that much, up to 3/4 of an inch in the downpours and thunderstorms, but that's going to be hit and miss. That's not going to be widespread. Cloudy, foggy here in the plaza. It's 62 degrees out the door right now. We still have temperatures near 70 in Olathe, Gardner, and Overland Park, but those temperatures will drop. On our 12-hour forecast in Kansas City, they will remain around 60 degrees through 6 o'clock this evening with off and on chances of showers and even a few rumbles of thunder through 6 o'clock, but no risk of severe weather. Jamie.
All right, appreciate the heads up. Thanks, Nick. And we are definitely watching for the weather's impact on the roadways. The good news is we're not getting any reports of accidents or stalled vehicles, but keep an eye out because roads are definitely wet and they may be slick. We're not reporting any slowdowns this morning, but we do urge you to take a little extra time if you're heading out this morning. Kansas City, Missouri police are searching for answers in a tragic case.
Over the weekend, someone found the body of a baby in the woods just off of I-70. Now, this discovery, a terrible surprise for people who live in this area of Kansas City. KMBC 9's Martin Augustine is live this morning with what they're saying. Hi, Martin.
Yeah, good morning, Donna. A few people we spoke with over the weekend say they believe they know what direction police will take once all the evidence gathered out in those woods is analyzed here at the Kansas City Crime Lab. Those people say that wooded area is a gathering place for homeless people. That land, the neighbors tell Channel 9, has a corporate owner, so there's not day-to-day care and management of that land as near as they can tell, which certainly does not deter homeless camps from forming there.
Constantly people walking. You never know what you're going to see. When the weather gets really hot, they'll move out of the woods and you'll see like trains of people pulling like wagons, baby strollers, all kinds of stuff. Like, I don't know where they go, but they go somewhere.
Regardless of their suspicions, those neighbors out there say that what happened this weekend is certainly nothing that they would have expected. Reporting live, Martin Augustine, KMBC 9 News.
All right, Martin, thank you. We are working to learn more after a deadly train collision in Ray County. A 1-year-old girl was killed after being hit by the train. Troopers are investigating the crash that happened here at Route J and Elm Street in Hardin, Missouri. We do know that train was headed eastbound about 8:45 Saturday morning when the crash happened. So far, officials haven't released any information about that little girl other than it was a 1-year-old child. Happening today, members of the Independence City Council will discuss holding a special election on the city's pit bull ban. Now, if it passes, the vote would be in August. The ban started in 2006 after a man was mauled by a pit bull. Opponents of the ban say that breed-specific bans are not necessary. Supporters say that the bans keep people safe.
Police are investigating a deadly crash in Independence after it happened just after midnight Sunday. A Ford F-150 rolled off the road near Berry and Truman Roads near 291 Highway, then hit some trees. The driver was taken to the hospital where he died from his injuries. He has been identified as 26-year-old Aaron McFall of Blue Springs. Kansas City, Missouri is planning to make some changes on Cleaver Tube Boulevard. The city will provide details and answer your questions at an open house today. The open house will be from 4 to 7 in the Nelson Atkins Museum's Lens 2 room. The Cleaver 2 project aims to add more bike lanes to the road in order to create a continuous 10.5-mile trail that people can use to get around the city. You can find more more information on the city's website.
Authorities along the Texas Gulf Coast say one person has died after a tornado touchdown. This was early Saturday morning. Now, take a look at the damage left behind. It was an EF1 that hit Laguna Madre. That's about 2 hours south of Corpus Christi. Power lines are down. Some people's roofs are off and in the streets there. Right now, officials are working to clean up as fast as they can.
Streets are getting a little bit better, but you can still see the devastation that's out there. We've been door to door, and we've checked on everybody, and everybody else seems to be fine.
The National Weather Service says that tornadoes in this area of Texas are rare.
In that same area, an ABC News crew was able to save a dog stuck underneath a home that had been damaged by the tornado. They were setting up their equipment when they heard cries of the dog. The crew called animal control, but instead of waiting for officers to respond, one of them found a shovel nearby and started digging and digging until that hole was big enough. Within minutes, the dog stuck its head out from underneath the home and was able to get out. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad that pup was okay, but it's just scary to see, you know, the havoc that these storms can have.
Yeah, but what a story. I mean, and what a stretch of severe weather that we've had so far in May, which is, you know, known to be a pretty violent month when it comes to severe weather across the country, especially in the Midwest and the plains. You'll need your rain gear this morning. Scattered showers and even a few thunderstorms are likely at any time between now through this evening, through 5, 6, 7 o'clock. And it won't be a washout day, but it's a day that, you know, I would want my umbrella or rain jacket. You know, the rain chance is that high, and that will keep our temperatures in the low 60s for the duration of the day. Our dry times this week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It'll actually be warmer too. Highs climbing into the 70s and 80s. Those are good outside days to make some plans. If kids have any after-school practice, you get into the evening, we're in good shape here. The fields might be a little soggy on Tuesday until the rain kind of dries up. Friday, a chance of showers and a few thunderstorms with the front that comes through. No risk of severe weather there. So our rain chances this week: today and Friday, the middle is in good shape, and the weekend is in good shape too. As that cold front comes through on Friday, we'll be back into sunshine and 70s over the weekend. Donna.
Nick, thank you. This week is National Police Week. It's meant to show recognition for law enforcement officers across the country and honor those who have died in the line of duty. Now, a few metro departments do have some ceremonies planned this week. This morning, Prairie Village and Lenexa will have their own each. Lenexa PD will have a wreath laying ceremony as well. The information for that is on your screen. And then Independence is having a ceremony in front of police headquarters Wednesday evening at 7:30.
This is the moment the legislative session ended for the Missouri Senate and House of Representatives. Things came to a close at 6 o'clock Friday evening after long arguments over last-minute pushes for bills. Lawmakers ended up passing 64 bills this year, but there's a number of bills that failed to make it through the Missouri legislature before the session ended Friday night. One of those is sports betting. The House passed legislation to legal sports gambling, but it failed in the Senate. Child care tax credits were also not approved, which had tried to get passed. Some had tried there. A proposal to make it harder to amend the Missouri Constitution also failed. Lawmakers say this could ease the path for voters to restore abortion rights in the state. The proposal would have asked voters to raise the bar to 57% in order to change the state constitution. Lawmakers did give final approval to a bill that will ban texting and driving for all drivers. Right now, it's only illegal for drivers under the age of 21.
Well, the U.S. government is reporting lower than expected numbers of illegal border crossings since the end of the pandemic-era restrictions under Title 42. New rules are directing migrants away from the border to apply for asylum or face harsher penalties for crossing. Amy Lou is in our Washington bureau now with more of the changes and when we could see a spike.
Well, the Department of Homeland Security predicts that the number of arrests could top 45,000 a day by the end of this month, a number the Biden administration warns could happen while its deportation process is stalled in court.
It is still early.
The Biden administration proceeding with caution, executing plans at the southern border. Border Patrol making thousands of migrant arrests over the weekend, a 50% drop from the more than 10,000 a day made last week.
There is a lawful, safe, and orderly way to arrive in the United States, there's a consequence if one does not use those lawful pathways.
The Biden administration is providing alternatives to asylum-seeking migrants to keep crowds from gathering at the border. Warning overcrowding at holding facilities could peak while the administration appeals a temporary restraining order from a federal judge, preventing the release of migrants waiting on a deportation court date.
We have a lot more work to do, and we need some more help from the Congress as well.
The Biden administration says it will make its case before an appeals court if its first request with a district court is not granted by this afternoon. The Justice Department warns if it cannot execute plans, it may be forced to release migrants without processing them altogether. In Washington, I'm Amy Lou.
Border Patrol says over the last week, 67,000 migrants were arrested and estimates that another 16,000 others did avoid arrest. Well, a semi-driver is lucky to be alive after a scary situation, a crash on a busy interstate.
And we're going to show you the close call that left him dangling off this bridge.
Well, if you're headed to the pool or lake or anywhere you need sunscreen, a lot of brands to choose from. We're going to help you get the best bang for your buck. That's coming up next.
And I'll show you when the rain showers will end today and when they'll return later this week. That's coming up.
Today is an impact day. Stay connected with First Alert Weather. KMBC 9 News, leading the way.
It's 6:13 on your Monday morning. Today is also a First Alert Weather Impact Day. We're taking a live look over the Country Club Plaza where you've definitely got some low-hanging clouds, better known as fog. Nick is going to let us know the times you're going to need your rain gear for today, a.k.a. grab it with you if you're about to head out the door. And then Nick will also let you know what days will be the best to plan some outdoor activities. But let's get a check of your First Alert traffic with News Chopper 9's Johnny Rollins. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, good morning, Jamie. We're looking good out here. Nothing in the way of any major problems to report, although the roads are going to be wet, kind of those hit-and-miss showers going around. Not everybody's seeing wet roads, but certainly it is here. Northbound I-35, just past the Cambridge Circle. Turn around the corner there, up a little bit, I should say downstream. That's going to be the turn to northbound I-35, past Southwest Traffic Way, and into the southwest corner of the downtown loop. Supposed to be debris in the road here, not seeing it. Not a lot of traffic either, so not any kind of a problem here. The inbound I-35 from the Kansas side. Johnny Rollins, News Chopper 9, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Johnny. And like Johnny had just mentioned, we are definitely starting to see some wet roads around the metro. We've got this road conditions key for you to let you know this area with that green background is going to be where we've got some wet roads, really going to be along I-70, 435 from the downtown loop north, and really in the Northland are going to be some of your areas with the slickest roads. The good news is when it comes to your morning drive times, we're not going to be impacted this morning, not reporting any slowdowns. We will keep you posted once that changes. But this morning, we know an interstate in Oklahoma is back open after a very close call. Just take a look at this. You can see this semi hanging off the edge of a bridge on Interstate 44 Sunday. You can see the cab is angled straight down. It's above the road beneath the bridge. Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt. Oklahoma Highway Patrol says the driver told them he'd swerved after being cut off.
Well, time is running out for Congress and the president to approve a plan to raise the debt ceiling. President Biden and top congressional leaders, including House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, are expected to meet again this week to discuss this matter. Now, McCarthy and House Republicans say that they'll raise the debt limit $1.5 trillion if cuts are made to the budget. The president says he's confident that a deal can still be reached in time.
I really think there's a desire on their part as well as ours to reach agreement. I think we'll be able to do it.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen recently warned that the U.S. could default on its obligations as soon as June 1st if Congress doesn't find a solution. Well, the Food and Drug Administration has approved a new drug that treats symptoms of menopause. Veozah treats hot flashes and night sweats by blocking receptors in the brain that play a role in regulating body temperature. This is an alternative to hormone replacement therapies, which some women with other health conditions are unable to take.
The Kansas City Current were a popular destination for Metro moms yesterday.
The team broke a new record when it comes to attendance on Mother's Day. Almost 13,000 fans, look at this, made their way to Children's Mercy Park Sunday to watch the Current take on the San Diego Wave. Now, the Current couldn't get the win, but agree this is a big moment for women's soccer in the city.
What a great way to celebrate Mother's Day than to also support women's sports. But we just couldn't be happier and more proud of the city, especially for building the new stadium, and just want to be here and be part of it and support them.
Now, the previous attendance record was just more than 11,000 people set just this year at the home opener.
The Currents hope for crowds like that. They hope that crowds like that will come to every match when the team's new stadium opens up next year. The team's ownership construction says progress is going well, and it's going to be the first stadium built for a professional women's soccer team. The team expects the entire project to cost about $117 million, and the Current plans to open the new stadium in March of next year. It's hard to believe, but school is already almost out. And this week on First News, we're getting families ready for the summer break with our summer safety guide.
One of the first things that we think about, of course, is protecting your family from the sun. Let's go to KMBC 9's Rob Hughes with some tips to picking the right sunscreen. Maybe not something we're going to need today, but something we do need to think about, right, Rob?
Hey, definitely, Donna. Good morning to you. Good morning, Jamie. Yeah, if you're out here maybe at 18th and Vine down the road when it's sunny, maybe at a street festival, you're going to need that sunscreen. And like you mentioned, Donna, maybe not today, but it's important to start thinking about it. And doctors say it's good to get your kids in an early habit protecting themselves from the sun.
I think it's good for them to have that control, and then they form the habit of just doing it themselves. I would have them go outside in a well-ventilated area and watch them to make sure they didn't miss any areas.
Now, when you are picking out your sunscreen, you're going to want to find something that's at least an SPF 30. You want to apply it up to 30 minutes before you go outside. Then you want to reapply it every 2 hours or after you swim or you sweat. Doctors say reapplying regularly is much more important than the brand you choose.
The brand, the type, honestly, it really doesn't matter as much as someone's willingness to use it and to reapply.
Now, by the way, if you do want a best brand, Consumer Reports says that a top tested sunscreen that's also a best buy is Equate Ultra Lotion SPF 50. You can find that nationwide at Walmart. We're live at 18th and Vine. I'm Rob Hughes, KMBC 9 News.
Kind of nice to know you don't have to spend the most to get the most protection. So appreciate Rob's report.
It's a good way to put it. And Nick, there's definitely going to be some days this week that we're really going to need to slather on the sunscreen, right?
Oh, there will be. Yes. Middle of the week and then over the weekend, there's going to be a lot of sunshine, but there are some days there with more clouds and rain, like today is a first alert weather impact day because of scattered showers and thunderstorms, not only blocking out the sun, getting the fields wet for after school practice. And if you have any evening plans that are going to be outside, you're going to want your rain jacket and umbrella with you. Big area of light rain here across northern Missouri. There's some downpours in there. You see more scattered showers lifting up out of eastern Kansas over Emporia. Those are moving toward northeast Kansas and northwest Missouri. Don't have a lot of lightning. No severe risk for today. That's good. These showers here across the Northland near the river, Liberty up over 152 Highway, Farrellview moving up the Smithville Lake. A little shower there over Olathe. But what's underneath the radar, just 100 foot off the ground, is fog and drizzle, and we have that right now in Kansas City. You will need those windshield wipers. First alert weather impact day today, scattered showers and a few thunderstorms likely to have an impact on the drive in some way, shape, or form, and then any of your outdoor plans this morning or through the afternoon. Rainfall totals are going to be anywhere from, I didn't really get any rain, up to 3/4 of an inch of rain. That's the nature of scattered showers and thunderstorms. It's a haves and have not. Fog, drizzle here in Kansas City, 62 degrees with an east to northeast breeze at 13 miles an hour. That's coming from colder air in the rain in Trenton, Chillicothe, Cameron, and St. Joe in the 50s. And that's pushing to the south and west. We're now down to 62 in Kansas City, Lee Summit. Butler still at 68. But that's going to drop over the next few hours. Our 12-hour forecast has steady temperatures through 6 o'clock this evening. There's not going to be much of a warm-up today. And then off and on showers, the occasional rumble of thunder through 6 o'clock this evening. Not a washout day, but a day you'll want your rain jacket and umbrella, especially if you do have any plans afternoon into the evening. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are dry days this week. It's going to warm up, too, with sunshine. 79 on Wednesday, 80 on Thursday. A chance of showers and thunderstorms on Friday. No risk of severe weather there, Donna. And then we're back to sunshine for the weekend.
All right, Nick, thank you. Saving you money on travel plans for the summer. Next, we'll let you know where you can save if you plan to take a flight over the next few months. And this morning on Good Morning America, meet the NASA astronaut who could become the first Korean American on the moon. He's telling GMA why he hopes that his accomplishments will inspire others.
All right, moms, dads, kids, take a look on your screen because this is just going to fill you with some joy on your Monday morning. There's a new addition at the Kansas City Zoo. This little orangutan, seen here with his mom, was born last week at the zoo. And the zoo is keeping mom and baby behind the scenes for now, just so they can form a critical bond. But this is going to help him learn how to build nests, find food, and interact with other orangutans. The zoo will let everyone know as soon as you can go see them in person. So precious. Hey, if you are missing a bull, the Douglas County Sheriff's Office might be able to help you find him.
Is that you? The office posted these pictures to Twitter saying that people who live near East 1500 and North 1000 roads found the bull in the neighborhood Friday evening. That's a Friday. They were able to corral him. This is just south of Lawrence. So if you know anybody who owns a bull who might be missing, contact the sheriff's office. So far, the bull has not said anything.
Okay. Well, airlines, they are preparing for a record summer travel season. Depending where you want to go, it could be more costly.
Okay, expect higher prices for international travel. A trip to Europe is averaging nearly $1,200 a ticket. The average price to go to Asia, that's more than $1,800.
If you want to go to Europe and bounce around, fly into the cheapest airport. And there are some really amazing fare sales we've seen to Europe this summer. There are low-cost carriers like Norse Airlines that is selling flights for $300 to Europe.
Tickets for domestic flights are actually down 19% compared to last year. One of the biggest reasons, jet fuel prices have dropped. Improving the fight against illegal immigration at the southern border.
Next on First News, why Border Patrol officials say new immigration rule changes appear to be working for now. And a disturbing discovery in Kansas City. The search for the person who's left a baby's body in the woods and why the case has police puzzled this morning.
KNBC 9 News starts with breaking news.
At 6:30, we are following this breaking news out of Grandview, Missouri. Police say several people, including 2 children, have been stabbed.
And police say they just got the call before 10:30 last night. Police found 2 adults and a young child with stabbing injuries. And they also found a teen at a nearby home that was injured as well. That teen was taken to the hospital. The adults have serious injuries while the child has minor injuries. We know the suspect was treated at a local hospital and is now in police custody. We're still working to get more information about what happened. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Okay, at 6:30, we do want to get to Nick with our first look at your Monday morning. And rainy days and Mondays kind of go together sometimes.
Florida Weather Impact Day because of the mist and the drizzle that we have right now in Kansas City and the rain that we have falling just north of the metro, along and north of 36 Highway in northern Missouri and northeastern Kansas. And you see more showers here coming up from eastern Kansas. So we're just going to stay on these off and on rain showers, occasional rumbles of thunder now through this evening. So that ground's going to be soggy in spots for after school practice, or if you have any lunch or evening plans, dinner plans, you need the rain jacket and umbrella with you for today. You see just a few showers here across Kansas City, but even lower to the ground is the fog and the drizzle that will also have an impact on the drive. This morning through the evening, that's the time for scattered. Those are kind of off and on here and there showers and thunderstorms. Not a washout day. You see rain totals will range anywhere from, I barely got any rain, up to 3/4 of an inch of rain. We have almost 2/10 of an inch of rain in the bucket at KCI. It's 62 degrees with an east to northeast breeze that is bringing in colder air from the north. We have 50s there in Excelsior Springs, Kearney, and Clay Como. And our 12-hour forecast for today in Kansas City will stay in the low 60s. The temperatures won't budge much through 6 o'clock this evening with showery impacts, the occasional thunderstorm off and on through the day. Not a washout day and no risk of severe weather for today. Jamie.
All right, appreciate that heads up. Thanks, Nick. When it comes to your first alert traffic, we are definitely starting to see the weather's impact on the roadways. You can see the highlighted green background indicates wet roads, and we're really starting to see more and more of the metro with soaked roadways. The good news is we're not seeing any accidents right now because of the weather, but some stalled vehicles. Let's go ahead and check in with News Chopper 9's Johnny Rollins for a look at current conditions.
And where you see that rain on the map is where you're going to see I-35 wet after the I-35-29 merge. So down into the construction, down there closer to 16th Avenue, Levee Road across the Bond Bridge, already slowing down this morning. So that's not good news. Normally we don't see this for a little while, at least until closer to 7 o'clock. So 5 or 10, I'm going to make it easily a 10-minute drive time delay as far as extra time needed through there. And looks like the wet roads are going to have a pretty big impact on that. So if you should drive into work a little bit later on, expect even greater delays, and we'll keep you posted on that. Johnny Rollins, News Chopper. Clapper 9, back to you in the studio.
Johnny, thank you. Kansas City, Missouri police are searching for answers in a tragic case.
Over the weekend, someone found the body of a baby in the woods just off of I-70. Police were called to the area near East 41st and Pittman Road Saturday around 7:45. Police say the body of a young baby had been dead for some time. While the cause of death is still under investigation, police want to find out who did this as soon as they can.
It's obviously Mother's Day weekend aside. This is obviously a situation we want to devote every resource we have to figuring out, no matter what the explanation is. And so that began last night. They processed the crime scene extensively last night for any evidence or anything that would give them kind of an idea of what led up to this baby being at that location.
And the discovery of that baby was a terrible surprise for the people who live in that area of KC.
KMBC 9's Martin Augustine is live in the neighborhood with what people are saying. And Martin, it's just hard to imagine what they're not only saying, but what they're feeling.
Right. A few people we spoke with in that neighborhood say they believe they know what direction police will take once all the evidence gathered around where that baby was found is analyzed here at the Kansas City Crime Lab. Those people say that wooded area is a gathering place for homeless people. The land, those neighbors tell Channel 9, has a corporate owner, so there's not day-to-day care and management of the land as near as they can tell, which does not deter homeless camps from forming there.
It's not surprising. It's very unfortunate for what happened, but this area's, the homeless population out here is really bad. We've made plenty of reports. I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like that. It's not surprising, very sad though.
Regardless, though, of their concerns and their suspicions, the fact that a baby's body was found in there is not something they expected whatsoever. Reporting live, Martin Augustine, KMBC 9 News.
One person is dead after a crash in Shawnee. This happened around 4:30 Sunday afternoon near Blackfish Parkway and Lackman Road. Multiple vehicles were involved. The driver of one vehicle died at the scene. A passenger in that car was severely injured and at last check is still at the hospital. Shawnee police are still investigating.
After a 5-hour standoff on Sunday, a man is in police custody. This all happened on Ford Avenue near East 89th Street. Police tell us that they got to the house about 2:30 yesterday afternoon after a man and a woman had called 911 telling officers that they got into a fight with a man inside their house. Now, that man allegedly assaulted the woman and threatened her with a gun. The couple able to get out, thankfully. Tactical officers and negotiators were there after the suspect refused to leave the home. The man did come out of the house around 7:30. Police took him into custody.
2 people are recovering from injuries after a small plane crashed at the municipal airport in Gardner. The crash happened Saturday afternoon. Kansas Highway Patrol say the 2022 single-engine plane crashed soon after takeoff. This was around 3:40 yesterday. The pilot, 61-year-old Jackson Letts, was taken to the hospital with some serious injuries. The passenger, 42-year-old Scott Klusman, had minor injuries. Of course, the cause of this crash is still under investigation. We'll bring you updates as we learn them.
We want to show you some weather on the other side of the state of Missouri, that is. Take a look here. This is out of St. Louis, the area of St. Louis anyway. People decided to go through, kind of risk it, drive through high water. Maybe they didn't realize it was this high, but this was after storms hit in the area, causing some flash flooding. So those folks got stuck and had to be rescued. Just another warning. Turn around, don't drown, don't risk it. You know, as we said earlier, we've all been in that situation where you think, okay, it's just a little bit and just a little bit, but that could add up to a lot of pain, if not injury. I don't think insurance will cover damage to, I mean, yeah.
I don't know. It's not good. None of it's good.
Yeah.
You know, it's a pain to have to go around the other way, you know, and sometimes you can't avoid that. You come up to it really quick. It's nighttime. But if you're able to avoid it, if you are able to just kind of go around, find another way, you know, we're used to doing that with construction lately. You know, things are shut down. You got to find a different way. Make that decision of least regret, you know, when you encounter a roadway that's covered in water, especially moving water. Rain gear. Yeah, we're going to need that today, and your kids are going to need it heading out to the bus stop. It's not going to be a deluge. It's not going to be every single hour of the day or a washout, but hit or miss showers and thunderstorms are likely through the evening. No risk of severe weather for today. We dry out the middle of your week. Those are going to be your outside days. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Might want to wait until Wednesday and Thursday for mowing. You know, the lawn could be a little on the soggy side. Then we'll end the week like we began the week. There is another chance of showers and a few thunderstorms Friday morning and afternoon. Right now, no risk of severe weather at the end of the week. Jamie.
All right, appreciate the heads up. Thanks, Nick. Right now, crews are pulling 800 feet of rail for the KC streetcar extension. Crews started the work at 5 this morning, pulling the rail from 27th and Grand to Main and 31st Street. The work is set to be completed by 7 this morning, and crews hope this overnight work will minimize the impact on the morning rush. But if this area is a part of your morning drive, be prepared for just a slower go. Tomorrow night, you can learn more about some changes that Lawrence is bringing when it comes to getting your kids to and from school safely. The City of Lawrence is holding an open house tomorrow at the city's library. This is about the Safe Routes to School program. The city is going to be updating the plan due to boundary changes by the school district after they decided to close Broken Arrow and Pinckney Elementary at the end of this school year. You can stop by the library tomorrow from 4:30 to 6:30 or take an online survey to share your thoughts. I've tweeted out that link if you'd like to chime in. The U.S. Homeland Security Secretary says border encounters are down by 50%, and this comes just days after Title 42 ended.
And now buses carrying migrants arriving from border states, that is, to Democrat-led cities of the country. ABC's Justin Finch has a closer look.
In the nation's capital, dozens of migrants arrived outside the vice president's residence Sunday night. And in New York City, 3 migrant buses arrived over the weekend, and a Manhattan hotel is being converted into an emergency migrant shelter. New York Mayor Eric Adams says his city is overwhelmed and plans to bus more migrants to suburbs. As U.S. cities struggle to support arriving migrants, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is reporting a major downturn in migrant crossings at the U.S.-Mexico border.
Over the past 2 days, the United States Border Patrol has seen an approximately 50% drop in the number of people encountered at our southern border.
That drop comes just days after Title 42, the pandemic-era health policy that allowed the U.S. to deport most migrants, expired last week. President Biden responding.
My hope is they'll continue to go down, but we have a lot more work to do.
Mayorkas says the U.S.'s stricter asylum-seeking policies are making an impact. The new rules call for non-Mexican migrants seeking asylum to first show proof they've been denied protection from a country they passed through on their way to the U.S. border. They're also required to use a federal app to make an appointment, though many migrants say it's been difficult to do so due to glitches and a lack of cell service. Breaking these rules could mean deportation plus a 5-year ban on entering the U.S. And the ACLU is now suing the Biden administration, likening its new border policies to the Trump administration and calling asylum bans cruel and illegal. Secretary Mayorkas firing back, insisting those Biden-era policies are not an asylum ban. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Those at the border are still waiting to figure out what's next. People in surrounding cities are helping the migrants who have uncertain futures. Volunteers at the border are offering food and water and other items that have been donated. In the meantime, in nearby cities, people are helping out in any way they can.
These people just want to better their lives. I mean, this country was built on immigrants, and now so many people want to shut them out. It's horrible.
Groups are planning to make donations again at the border today.
A celebrity fundraiser for Children's Mercy brings a bit of Hollywood to KC. The announcement today that could have you feeling a little bit starstruck. And with summer just around the corner, are you protecting your family from the sun? The safety tips you need to know when it comes to sunscreen.
I'll show you when scattered showers and thunderstorms will end today, hour by hour, with First Alert Future Scan. In the days this week, you will need that sunscreen. Coming up.
Today is an impact day. Stay connected with First Alert Weather. KMBC 9 News, leading the way.
We have the latest now on breaking news out of Grandview, Missouri, as we are learning more. 4 people have been stabbed. This happened in a neighborhood overnight. We have now learned that this is in the 13,000 block of Manchester Avenue in Grandview. Police say 2 adults and a young child were stabbed in one location. Now, there was a teenager in another home who was also injured. That teen taken to a hospital. The adults had serious injuries. That younger child has minor injuries. We do have a crew headed to the scene right now, so we'll get more information for you and have that as we continue on First News on KCWE. Jamie.
We do want to get a quick check of your First Alert traffic because we are really starting to see the weather's impact on the roadways this morning. We've gotten more and more reports of stalled vehicles. We're starting to see some slowdowns as we make your way southbound from I-35, I-29 into downtown Kansas City. And also we've got a slowdown on I-70 westbound, likely because of an accident. I want to send things over to Johnny Rollins for more details about that. Johnny?
And we think that had a lot to do with this vehicle that's way off the road. It's going to be an SUV that came out of the westbound lanes of I-70 into the grass at 23rd Street. And with that, we have a lane taken away, back up all the way to Van Brunt. And that's going to be an easy 10 or 15-minute drive time delay that will only get worse. Maybe a couple of vehicles off the road there, as you can see. So with that, doesn't look like this is going to clear anytime soon. So file that away if you're getting ready to head out via I-70 into downtown. Again, an extra 10 or 15 minutes. Not a bad idea. Johnny Rollins, News Chopper 9, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Johnny. And of course, we do have another traffic alert for you this morning when it comes to construction. If you drive in Johnson County, Kansas, KDOT is asking drivers to drive slow and put away any distractions on 435 as crews patch pavement. All of this, of course, weather dependent. But KDOT does have some other plans for the construction season, including a new deck on the Shawnee Drive Bridge over 635, a restricted crossing U-turn at K7 and Parallel Parkway, and then the 69 Express project in Overland Park.
6:46 right now, and National Police Week is underway. The Kansas Highway Patrol posted a photo to Twitter honoring troopers who've lost their lives in the line of duty. Take a look. There are 10 pictured here dating back to 1944. National Police Week lasts until Saturday the 20th. And today in Overland Park, the City Council is proclaiming Police Week and Public Works Week. And the City Council meets tonight at 7:30 at City Hall.
Today, more than 60 3rd to 5th graders are going to be learning about aviation with hopes of setting their eyes to the skies. It is the 2nd annual Kids Day at MKC. The students from the Kansas City, Kansas School District will learn about jobs in aviation and what comes with flying planes.
Art Garden KC is back for the season. More than 80 local artists gathered here at Berkeley Riverfront Park Sunday afternoon. Now, with lower vendor fees, artists get to keep more of the money that they make. Some of the things that we saw: candles, paintings, and custom clothing. One organizer says that this is just a great way for new businesses to connect with the community.
It's kind of like a test kitchen into the retail market, and it's really low risk for them and a very positive vibe for them to collaborate, make friends, and network.
The weekly festival happens every Sunday through the end of October. Art Garden KC is family friendly, and that means all members of the family. You can bring your dogs. It's free to attend as well.
Starting today, we're going to be learning more about the Big Slick Celebrity Weekend as the guests start to be announced this week.
Yeah, it's the 14th annual celebrity fundraising weekend benefiting Children's Mercy Hospital. So the Big Slick Twitter account has said that they will be announcing the stars who will join the hosts later on today. No word on who those will be, but we know the hosts: Paul Rudd, Jason Sudeikis, Eric Stonestreet, Rob Riggle, David Koechner, and new host Heidi Gardner. The Big Slick Weekend is June 2nd and 3rd. The celebrity softball game at the K is June 2nd. The party and show at T-Mobile Center June 3rd. Tickets are available still for both events. Well, school is almost out this week on First News. We're getting families ready with our summer safety guide.
And if you spent any time outside this weekend or for Mother's Day, you might already be a bit sunburned. That's why picking the right sunscreen is so important.
KMBC 9's Rob Hughes is live with some advice to help everybody stay safe on those sunny days. Hi, Rob.
Hey, good morning to you, Donna and Jamie. Yeah, might not need some sunscreen today, especially if you're out and about at 18th and Vine for a festival maybe later on in the year. You'll definitely need some sunscreen. Now, by the end of the week, you'll probably want plenty of sunscreen to avoid getting burnt these days, but there's plenty of brands we want to tell you about. There's a lot of fancy brands and labels, but Consumer Reports say that there's one thing you should really do to make sure you check for. Make sure that your bottles say broad spectrum. That means it's going to protect you from both cancer-causing types of sun rays. Also important, something you want to look for is SPF. That stands for Sun Protection Factor. It's a measure of how well a sunscreen protects against sunburn. You need at least SPF 30. And some labels don't really mean anything. Consumer Reports says that if you see labels like sport or dermatologist tested, no, they don't really mean anything significant. No matter what sunscreen you choose, though, what really matters is how you apply it. For lotions, you want to use about a teaspoon per body part not covered by clothing. And then for sprays, you want to make sure you use enough so your skin glistens. We're live at 18th and Vine. I'm Rob Hughes, KMBC 9 News.
Rob, thank you. It is a First Alert Weather Impact Day, and this is really, it's funny because sunscreen, you know, it doesn't sound that exciting of a topic, but it's gotten all of us talking. Rob's report, and what do you use, and what do you... Not going to be something we need today.
No, I wouldn't think so. It might wash off, you know, in the rain.
Yeah.
You know, that's the reason why it's a First Alert Weather Impact Day. Scattered showers, and there will be a few rumbles of thunder in there. Now into this evening, the rain is steadiest here across northern Missouri, north of Kansas City, northeast Kansas, Hiawatha, over to Mound City, Rockport, Fairfax, Tarkio, Maryville, St. Joe, and then across northern Missouri. You see a lot more showers here developing in eastern Kansas. Those are all lifting north and east toward Kansas City. So we're getting a bit of a break from the steadier rain right now in the metro, but that will pick back up again. You can already see that starting to pick back up again here on the west side. It's KCK, Parkville, Zona Rosa, out to the Legends, and then we'll continue west towards Lawrence on Interstate 70. Light rain showers, and that's the impact. Scattered off and on rain showers with some thunderstorms. The time now through all of this afternoon. The amounts, it's going to be haves and have-nots, you know, anywhere from just 1/10 of an inch up to 3/4 of an inch in the areas that receive those hit or miss downpours or the heavier rain and thunderstorms. We have mist and fog and drizzle here in Kansas City. You can't even make out downtown there from the plaza. 62 degrees with an east to northeast wind at 11 miles an hour. Just over 1/10 of an inch of rain in the bucket at KCI. Northeast winds bringing in colder air. It's in the 50s in Maryville, Cameron, and Chillicothe. And then we're just above 60 degrees here in Kansas City and close to 70 in Lacine and Butler and Rich Hill. But that will change as those north winds bring in that rain-cooled air over the next few hours. On a 12-hour forecast for today in Kansas City, temperatures won't budge. You know, from now into this evening, 60, 61, 62 degrees. Not a noticeable change for us. And then off and on showers and a few thunderstorms impacting any of your plans this afternoon into this evening. It won't be a washout day, but it's not going to be a day where I can write off a downpour. Future scans showing, you know, those showers building back in late this morning through the afternoon, especially along and north of Interstate 70 in northern Missouri and northern Kansas, and then toward the end of the day, you know, into central Missouri. So it's just, again, it's just going to kind of be all over the place. Now, our dry stretch of weather where you might need that sunscreen is in the middle of this week on our First Alert 9-day forecast. Sunny on Wednesday and Thursday with highs near 80, and then we end the week like we started the week with a chance of showers and thunderstorms. No severe risk today and a very low risk on Friday. That's good. Saturday and Sunday are sunscreen days, highs in the 70s, then morning lows in the low 50s, a touch on the cool side there, and then back up to near 80 degrees early next week.
We are continuing our breaking news right now. 4 people in Grandview, Missouri are hurt. This is all a stabbing. So we're learning details. This happened about 10:30 last night, police say, in the 13,000 block of Manchester Avenue. Among the injured, 2 adults, a teenager, and then a younger child. And we do have a crew headed to the scene right now. Martin Augustine is on his way, so he's going to get us more information as First News continues on KCWE.
We do want to get a quick check of your First Alert traffic because we are seeing the weather's impact on the roadways. This is a live look I-70 at 23rd Street, Missouri side of the metro, where initially we just had the right shoulder blocked. Now looks like we've got another lane blocked as well. We'll continue to track your morning commute on KCWE. Nick, the weather is definitely a factor.
Yes, those scattered showers and then eventually off and on thunderstorms will last through this evening before it dries on out for the middle part of the week. Then rain and thunderstorm chances return on Friday. No risk of severe weather today, so this is beneficial rain. We really do need it. Our gardens, our pastures, our farmlands, our streams, our creeks, rivers, lakes, they're all running a little parched.
Okay, so this is a good thing. Look at that picture. Happy Monday, guys. Thanks for being with us.